Hi everybody, I'm Crosbie from Finch Chevrolet in London, Ontario, Canada, and you're watching Cars and Crosbie. Well, it's delivery day, and we've got a lot of Corvette things to talk about on today's episode. Right now, the National Corvette Museum's NCM Bash is going on. I'm very jealous that I'm not down there, but I'm going to give you guys a synopsis of all the things that I interpret and kind of translate from all the presentations that you may have already watched. And if you haven't watched it, I'm going to help you guys out in giving you a summary on all the festivities and the announcements and the information that they have to offer. As also, we have a delivery going out today. We have the black Darth Maul, as I call it, going out because red is the accent color on it. So we've got an all Corvette episode coming your way. All right, so let's get right into it and start talking about this delivery. Yin and Yang. I say that for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of opposites on my Corvette compared to this delivery, and I'm excited to go through with you guys a couple of these differences, because if you were, doing an either or analysis on certain options, this is going to be a great episode for that. So without further ado, let me introduce you to a 3LT hardtop convertible Z51 in black. We have the low profile spoiler in the back, and then the customer threw us a curveball and they went with the 5VM exposed carbon fibre ground effects package that comes from General Motors as an LPO accessory. Right now, if you're trying to order it as an option, or at least it was the case in the 22 model year, you couldn't get it because of that IMSA edition. Now in the 23 model year, I did talk to Kai, and he did mention that if you're looking at ordering it now, that it will be an option that you can get. They were trying to conserve the amount of 5VMs that they had for the IMSA editions. And like a little pack rat, I have a bunch of fancy pants parts here. So in case you come in and at the last minute, you decide that you're going to put on an option, I've got it. I've even got, crazy things like the exposed carbon fiber Z01 spoilers for the Camaro. Exhaust, we keep that on stock. There's a lot of things that we keep. I bet you we have probably at least $100,000 worth of Corvette accessories alone, not even talking about wheels. So if you're interested in doing something like what happened here, I'm ready. Hopefully I can use my resources and my networks to be able to get it if I don't have it in stock. But this was a last minute decision to do the 5VM, and luckily we came up to the plate and we hit a home run for them in getting this car ready to go. So I talk about Darth Maul as being the reference for this one. I don't know if it exactly fits the demeanor of what this customer's lifestyle is, but it's a good Star Wars reference because of the red accents that are on it. Now, we have the red Z51 brake calipers on here. This is bright red. We've got the red from the center caps on here from the Trident spokes. I want to also note just for a second about one of the reasons why, not only from a cost perspective, that I did my Trident spokes in black, and it has to do with the center cap. This is how the center cap comes. I don't know if I'm getting you guys seasick by doing that, but this is how the center cap comes from the factory. And I got mine in the base option because I didn't want to have to pay that exorbitant amount of money to get two sets of wheels. When you do the LPO Trident wheel option, if you're just catching up on what I'm talking about here, this Corvette here had the LPO option for the Trident spokes in black from the factory, which means you get the base set, which was in the previous episode, and then you get this set separately. So you get two sets of wheels, and you also have these center caps, which is what I'm pointing out right now. To try to be cost effective and that I didn't really need the base set, ordered this in Spectre Gray. I then powder coated my wheels jet black or gloss black, and then I also took these to the same place at Alloy Wheel Specialist, and they painted it black. So see how this conforms a little bit more? This is one of the other reasons why I didn't do this LPO option, is because that's the center cap you get if you order it from the factory. So not only do you have to end up paying more, you also get a set of wheels that if you've been looking online recently, you'll see that the market is very saturated with the base split spoke silver wheels, and they're going for roughly around 500 bucks Canadian right now. The TPMs that are in them are honestly worth more than anything. And the center caps, in my opinion, they don't really go with anything on the vehicle. And I'm not trying to beat up on this thing right before it goes out on trade, but it is definitely something, not on trade, out on delivery, but it is something that I would point out. Now, again, in terms of cost and time, we weren't able to get this accessory done, but there is a sorry, a torch red script that you can get for the back here. And it would have been nice if we did that to get a little bit of contrast, because when you have black on black, it doesn't show up as much as you would want. And in my opinion, with mine being in ceramic matrix gray, you get a decent contrast with it having the black script. But when you have black as your color, even if you're doing the 70th anniversary edition, it's gonna get lost in the color, just because of the fact that your backdrop is almost the exact same color as your paint. All the accents that are on a black Corvette are actually done in black, or sorry, carbon flash metallic right here. So this accessory here is done in regular black, but for some crazy reason, these decals here are done in carbon flash metallic. So some of the things, such as the low profile spoiler and we call these the pedestals right here, are done in the carbon flash metallic. And then also you have a slight contrast in carbon flash metallic on the boomerang intakes. And if you guys were remembering in an episode where I was talking about the carbon flash metallics being an option for the wheels as a paint and why I was saying against it, here is a perfect example. This is jet black, as you've been hearing from my song and dance, and this is carbon flash metallic. If you take a step back, you can see how this here is almost like a gray when you have it as a black backdrop. And that's one of the reasons why we don't really do a lot, or we don't suggest or condone to do a metallic black on the wheel. Here's another perfect example, just looking over. Here's a black set of wheels that's done in a metallic finish, and it almost looks gray. And that is just something that we've learned through the days of doing Corvettes. And it's one of the reasons why I've kind of made a name for myself, is because I'm your guinea pig. I'm going to be able to do a lot of these things for you guys in finding them out, so that you don't have to experience it or pay for it on your own. Now, I talked about Ying and Yang being here, and that's because we've got a ceramic matrix gray, or a white Corvette on a black backdrop. We've also got more sleek accents in certain areas on mine. So I have the 1VM ground effects kit from ACS Composites on mine here. I then also have a carbon flash metallic 5VM front splitter. This is the 5VM, so it has the more aggressive front lip. And then this is the 5VM with the more aggressive lip in the back end here. Now, Ying and Yang, again, opposites. I have the low profile spoiler on this beautiful black one that's about to go out, Darth Maul as we called it. And on mine, I have the Z51 spoiler, and then I have the ACS Composite wicker bills to give it that more aggressive look. I do like to contrast my vehicles, and when I am contrasting it, I want it to stand out a little bit more than in other areas. And in the back spoiler area, instead of going with a high wing and losing some of the utility and functionality of my Corvette, I went with these wicker bills. It makes it so that every other Z51 on the road with this spoiler doesn't look the same as mine, and people are going, what the heck is that? Is that some kind of new body kit or addition? Well, it's ACS wicker bill extenders, and I think it does a lot of bang for the buck for a $500 investment. Now, on the sides here, though, again, I went the opposite way and went with a more clean, sleek look, just because I don't really see a lot of functionality out of this lip here. Some people do, and on my Corvette, I didn't do it. I did the 1VM, which is a benefit with the ACS Composites, because General Motors does not make a ground effects on the side rocker panels in a non lip version. So that is one thing to note about this Corvette over mine as well. Now, this is a coupe, with mine having the top end wrapped in a black finish, a black metallic finish from 3M called Galaxy Black. So this is now 2 years old, or almost 2 years old exactly, and it's holding up quite well. And then this here is a hardtop convertible. So from the side profile, you're definitely going to be able to see a difference between the two, and that's mainly for the fact that this is got the rear end covered up, because it's the hardtop over mine, which has the coupe and it has that glass area in it. Now, I don't always have 100% luck when I do this on the channel, especially when I'm doing a one take. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna quickly grab the keys, and I should have had these in my hand before. I apologize, guys. There's a nice tint on here that just got done as well. Oh, geez. I left the keys right in here. Oh. You know what? As per tradition, I messed this up when it comes to taking the top off. And, well, you're just going to have to deal with it, because I like doing one takes, and I'm not going to edit this out, especially when I have a little baby girl back at home that's waiting to see her daddy. I'm all garbed up in my casual because I just came in to shoot this episode before the customer comes in to pick it up later on tonight. So I'm gonna hit the unlock button, and then I'm gonna press this button right here, and yeah, there we go. The top is coming off. It's getting folded away. You can do this while you drive as well, but this is gonna be able to show you guys why I call this the Darth Maul Corvette. You got the nice red accents from the outside and potentially on the script coming in. And then we have here an adrenaline red accented Corvette with the carbon fiber option that will complement the 5VM on the inside. You've got suede accents. So here is a really good breakdown of all the materials that you see inside of it. You got suede on these tonneaus right here. You've got full grain Napa leather with an embossed Corvette logo in the top end here, some more suede, some adrenaline red, some carbon fibre. It is absolutely gorgeous, the styling that is inside of this Corvette. That looks like something that you see out of an Aston Martin catalog when you you take a look at it and you don't really know. Even with this having a black background, maybe it is kind of cool that it has black badging on it, because most people are going to probably come up to this thing and ask, what the heck is this? It does not look like a conventional Corvette. So yeah, this is the interior that we have going on this. With this being suede, we kept the protective seats on here for as long as possible. So I'm probably one of the first people other than the detail team that has driven in it, because we want to make sure that we can protect the suede as much as possible, especially on the steering wheel here. It is just absolutely gorgeous inside of this Corvette. So we've got Trident spokes on both of these. You can see why from the factory I decided that I was going to powder coat mine and take them off, because it helps in keeping the tertiary colors off of the vehicle. I went with more of a slick profile on the sides, and then went with a more aggressive profile on the back. I also have an aftermarket exhaust on here, which would look very, very well on this Corvette eventually down the road. As you guys know, I don't expect you to come in and break the bank, put a lien on the house in order to get every accessory done. And that's half the fun of getting a Corvette, is there's tons of fun projects that you can do down the road. I have people that come in from out of town, they stay at a hotel and they get stuff done at their Corvette that are in the year 2 or year 3 like me, if they have a 2020. And that's the fun of it. You know, if you're looking at trying to design and build this Corvette, you don't need to do it all at once. I did the exhaust year 2 on mine. I'm not going to talk about what I'm going to be doing on this one this year, because it obviously will be a surprise and I'm not finalized on all the things. But you know, just because it's not perfect from the factory, not to say that this one isn't perfect, but let's say that you wanted to do the exhaust down the road, go ahead. That's half the fun of it. You know, you're going to have some fun in rekindling your experience of when you ordered your Corvette, when you're able to do a fun project like this. Now, our dealership has been doing a lot of work on Corvettes, and I'm not trying to make a rip on other dealerships, but we have a lot of experience on doing some things that are not on the regular menu, especially if they're an aftermarket item such as the exhaust. There's about 7 hours in labor in doing this exhaust alone. So if you're thinking about doing some accessories or a project on your Corvette, because this is the time that I'm getting a lot of requests and emails for it, reach out to me. I'd love to be able to help you out in brokering some accessories on your Corvette. Keep in mind, guys, that I am just purchasing these items and putting them on. There's not really any way for me to be able to offer you a discount. So some people are reaching out to me expecting that I have a line on being able to do it for a better price. This isn't my main thing. I'm not trying to butter the bread both ways. Obviously, there is some small margin in terms of doing the labor on it, but that's not why I'm doing this. And I don't even get paid as that, because I'm a car salesman. I'm not in the service department of it. So my dealership benefits from that. But more importantly, you're going to a place that offers a service that you can depend on in terms of being able to get your Corvette serviced and worked on. And you get my consultation fees, if you want to call me that, in terms of getting the right plan of action. Maybe you have all these things that you want to do, and I can help you out in getting a clear and concise game plan on how you should do it, and in what time frame and what budget you should have per year on doing that. So I hope you guys enjoyed that component of it. We're going to talk about what happened at the National Corvette Museum in the second part of this episode. All right, guys, part 2. I apologize for the delay and how long it took me to film this. I actually have a couple of other episodes that I'm going to be pumping out in the next few days as well. And I also have a lot of new vehicles that are coming through with one of the most expansive projects that I've ever done on a C8 Corvette. It ends up being actually the last 2022, and I just got notification that it left today from the factory, and today is the 24th of May. So there is some good things coming through the pipes. One episode I've already filmed, another really cool Cars and Crosby, Cars and Coffee episode that'll be coming out very shortly. And then the granddaddy of all the 2022 projects, no offense to everyone else that had a Corvette from me in 2022, but this one is a check every single box kind of option featured build, and I'm really excited to see how this one turns out. So that is something that we also have coming through the pipes, and you're going to see quite a few episodes come back to back to back. I'm getting this baby thing figured out. I've got a team that I've hired on. That's one of the main reasons why it took me so long to get back to you guys, because I had a list of priorities, and getting the baby stuff figured out. I'm going to have almost like a fashion show with all the Corvette stuff that I've got from people that they've sent in, and it's really cute. I really think that it's adorable that Vida has all these little Corvette onesies and gears, and so I'm going to kind of shoot maybe a little fashion show with her and all this stuff. Not to exploit her or anything like that, but I just think it's so adorable. And some of the things like the one from ACS Composites, thank you, Joseph, that he sent in are just absolutely adorable and really funny as well. So in terms of the stuff that went down at Bowling Green at the National Corvette Museum, we already kind of knew that the tornado recovery project was going to be something, and that was done by the assistant plant manager. Kai's a very busy guy, and he didn't do a presentation that was uploaded to the website from the Bowling Green National Corvette Museum YouTube channel. But one thing that I would note is that there was over 380 people that were working on this project, and within 11 days of the tornado hitting, they were already up in production. The amount of resources that General Motors pooled into it by taking projects from other facilities they were doing nearby, like the Spring Hill plant, and then putting it towards the Bowling Green facility is absolutely remarkable. And it just shows you that team effort that's going on. We learned a lot more about the new powertrain and the advantages of this performance build center. The amount of accuracy that's coming out of that was absolutely remarkable to be able to watch, in terms of how many different little pieces that they have that are just like the thickness of like a third of a human hair, in terms of size differences between the little nubs and stuff for in the valve heads, for example, that they were able to choose from. I think there was 26 different sizes alone for the little nubs and the bearings for your rods. It's amazing to think that there is that much variance between the vehicles. But even further than that, when they're casting these blocks, they have these like UPC codes that they brand on the side of the block, and it tells the person that's in charge of the performance build center or that build which size that they're going to likely need to have. And to think that there's 26 different sizes that are the third of a thickness of a human hair is remarkable, to think that that kind of accuracy is built right into the vehicle, and they have to scan it to confirm that it goes on the vehicle in the right way before they can even proceed. And then there's old school ways of even knowing that they did the right job by just weighing it at the end. It takes 3 hours from start to finish, 3.5 hours from start to finish to do one of the new Z06 engines, and they do about 2 a day, which was right on track with what they were doing on the LT4s. On that topic with the LT4s, I can confirm now that the LT4 is the engine that is inside of the new Escalade V, and Escalade V production is going quite aggressively. It's already starting to be done for American vehicles, and I'm hoping that in the near future, Canadian vehicles are going to be coming out. They've already announced that it's a $180,000 base price for the Escalade V. Then there's options like forged wheels, and I'm sure some other fancy pants items that I'm sure will make the price point a little bit higher, but I'm excited for that. I really do think that this is going to be one heck of a vehicle, especially because it's a little bit more power than what was in the original Z06 from the C7. I think it's 668 horsepower that they now have coming out of the LT4 powertrain. So it still has the LT4 nomenclature. It has more power. They're having a lot of success in terms of starting production and getting it ahead of schedule, which is good to hear. I don't have any news for you guys on the Z06 yet. I'm very tight-lipped about it because I want to make sure that GM is not... I'm conflicted right now, guys. There's some things that I know, but think of it... I'm going to just use a relevant example because I have a kid right now. My baby is my world right now, and if you think of the Z06 as General Motors or Team Corvette's world, they're very nervous and susceptible to outside influence on what goes on. And I have a lot of respect for this team, and I don't really think that it's fair to be pushing them, because they want this vehicle to get into your hands as fast as humanly possible. And I don't think it's fair to be subjective about the ETAs and to be getting impatient, and then to take this news about the E-Ray and run with it, that there might be a faster ETA on the E-Ray because the Z06 is falling behind in production. As of right now, I can confirm that there is no issues with the Z06 in terms of the time frame that we know internally or from what I've heard. And that when it does come out, the juice is worth the squeeze, and it'll be worth the wait. I'm not trying to say suck it up, guys, especially if some of you guys already have a Corvette. Embrace it, guys. Get a load of what we have going on. And it's not rocket science to know that you're getting great resale value. So if you are waiting around for your Z06, enjoy the current Corvette that you have, or whatever you may have, and know that when the Z06 does come to you guys, which is in all hopes, knock on wood, on schedule to be coming sooner than later, it's going to be a hell of a vehicle, pardon my French, and when it does arrive, you'll enjoy it. So I know that's not really answering any of your questions. It's very convoluted, but at the end of the day, I can confirm that there's no issues with the Z06 program, and everything's on track at the speed that they were anticipating, and that you should not be anticipating that the E-Ray is going to come anytime sooner, or that it's going to come in, you know, a short time frame right after the Z06. Let's be honest here, guys. This is the business. It doesn't make a lot of sense to come out with a brand new product that is the be-all and end-all of the performance world, and then to come out with a brand new electric variant hybrid version or the all-electric version right away. So there's your insight on that. If you're calling me, asking me about the E-Ray and thinking that you can place your order soon, not going to happen. It's all Z06. We are going to be in Z06 world for a very long time. And also, we're in the Stingray world and the Z51 world as well. So don't think that that, you know, there's negative things going on. They're doing a very great job, and I'm getting very positive vibes from the team at Corvette every time that I've reached out to them. And keep in mind, it's a new baby for them, and they're very conscious, self-aware of what's going on, and you know, have faith that they're doing the right thing, and that they're not just sniggering behind the doors, you know, laughing at the fact that you guys are wanting your cars and that they're not here yet. Everyone wants their vehicles the next day, but it's not always the case. And I've said that and vented a couple times in regards to just getting vehicles delivered, as my Cars and Crosbie project is still not even here yet. It's been sitting in a field for about 3 months. So don't think that it's just you that's waiting for something. Even I am waiting for stuff. And it's so close. It's right there. It's 30 kilometers away in a holding yard in Ingersoll, yet even I can't get my stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I have a bunch of new episodes that are going to be airing every 3 days just to spread it out, give you guys some time to digest it. So get your popcorn ready, guys, because we've got a lot of Corvette content coming through the pipes. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I apologize for the wait that it took. I was trying to figure out a balance between my newborn baby, which I obviously am over the moon about, and hiring a team, which I have finally done. And so the team is starting June 1st. So I'm going to be getting them all ramped up, and then it's smooth sailings as I have a lot more time with my daughter and my wife under our belt in terms of getting her ready and hoping that she can sleep better throughout the night and make it so that, you know, we can afford for me to leave more, because I don't want to leave my wife high and dry. My parents don't live in town, and neither does my wife's. And I want to be there for my wife and my family, and no offense to you guys, but that's my #1 priority. Everything's going great. She's now a month old. We're getting a lot more sleep than we were before. I'm starting to ramp up my career back at the office with my new team starting up in a few weeks. So everything is looking like it is going to be smooth sailing, and I've got some great content coming your way. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Stay tuned for more awesome content. I'm Morgan Crosbie, and happy motoring.